A section of Kenyans believe that Nairobi city stinks to the core and that this far there actually isn't much to write home about this city. That is the notion in the minds of many city residents and also Kenyans at large. How true could that be? That forms the basis of our conversation today on yet another informative edition of Business Glide Show, your go-to point on matters public policy, business and economics at large. Hosted by yours truly, Richard Mwanjo. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Now, to delve into this subject, I'm joined by none other than East Africa's renowned public scholar and Kenya's go-to political analyst, Herman Manyora.
Yes.
Great to see you, sir.
Yes.
Today we are talking matters Nairobi County, a county that you've always referred to it as a dirty third world city.
Yes.
I don't know how true that it is. We are going to get into the nitty-gritties in a few.
Yes.
But let's start from a general perspective of matters to do with city sanitation. Sanitation is one of the sustainable development goals that Kenya is trying to realize in the fullness of time. But even with successive governments coming on board and people taking stewardship of the city, we are seeing it so much of an arduous task for them to fix matters with open sewers, sanitation issues, open garbages all over the place. Just how much is it a task for people to address sanitation in Nairobi?
It's a simple matter. It's a question of planning.
Where do you start the planning from?
No, it's a question of planning. It's a question of following up the plan. It's a question of following the laws, the bylaws. Mm-hmm. It's a question of investing in the same. It's a question of biting the bullet and say this cannot be allowed within the city. It's a question of being bold and saying we may lose the votes as a government, but we cannot allow these sort of operations within the city. But the choice is so simple.
The choice is so simple.
Very simple.
Others
have made those decisions to be where they are. If you think you want to please everybody, go ahead.
We can't become Kigali in the near future.
Yeah, you can't.
We can't. But part of that plan to fix such issues on sanitation in this city that is Nairobi has been the creation of agencies such as the National Environment Management Authority, that's NEMA. It is domiciled in here. You also have these water and sewerages companies all over the place. Then why are we not getting the value for the money that we are giving such state agencies that should undertake such?
They are just like other state agencies and other bodies, which are just moribund at best.
At the expense of people's lives?
But under circumstances, under normal circumstances, just conduit for eating money, for rewarding people with jobs.
At the altar of people's lives?
Yeah, that's how it is. Nobody ever takes anything serious in this country.
On taking matters serious, it was one of the commitment by Governor Sakaja when he was taking oath of office to bring an end to cartels in the garbage collection industry in this city. This far, say 7-8 months into office, we are still seeing the same situation. Nothing much has changed
People
about the cartel.
People can't even handle noise bars. How can they handle garbage collection, which is cartel controlled?
My question is, what kind of immunity are these cartels enjoying that even the governor cannot take them by the horns?
But I've said repeatedly, there are many mistakes we make. Some of them structural, some of them fundamental, some of them systemic, some of them political. It's a whole bag of things. Where do you start? First of all, Nairobi cannot be a county like Vihiga.
Why so?
Or Trans Nzoia, like
where I come from.
Yeah. Where does it work like that? This is a special place that requires special status. Not a county like Nyeri County.
Or Turkana.
Or Turkana County for that matter. No, this is a city.
The heart of the nation?
Yes. It must have special status. That's where you begin. Then, you have to understand that as a governor in Nairobi, and that's why I will not blame Sakaja, there's very little you can do to change things around here.
But
first,
you're the boss.
Nothing serious happens here without blessing at the top. So if you touch some people, you live and be told stop. You saw Sakaja talking about just creating order because of bus and matatus. And he was told you are targeting Kikuyus.
Business communities.
By none other than the deputy president. At least I like Gachagua. He speaks his mind. Others will not speak. They will just press a button. And you hear a vote of no confidence. Impeachment.
And underhand.
Yeah, so I like there's a way in which Gachagua is a good guy. He just speaks his mind. What he's saying is what others do quietly. And then you have, it's a nightmare for you, like my sister, my young sister, Beatrice Lucky.
Election.
tried to be speaker. Life was made difficult for her.
She had to quit.
Yeah, so to be even governor of Nairobi, the extent to which you are in control is doubtful. It's so limited.
So limited.
That's one of the problems. Secondly, all our leaders want to make money. And these people know. So once you come in, you can look tough with the plans and harsh. They just call you aside. And you live with a bag of money and you keep quiet. Secondly, or whatever. Also, you must be a tough man to face these cartels and tell them off. Even if, assuming there was no interference from State House, it is just you, mundo ko mundo, man to man, eyebrow to eyebrow, you are looking at the cartels in the eye and they are looking at you. Utaangalia chini. They are not small people. They need somebody like Manyora.
You can fight them?
Oh, come on.
They have huge immunity.
These are small boys. Because there's nothing they can give me. You must start there. Will you bribe Manyora? You will not. You are wasting your time. Secondly, I'm also a tough man. I'll look at you until you go to hell. I won't even care that there's anything you can do to me.
At the expense of getting a second term in office?
They also threaten people. People have tried to close the Dandora dump site. I will close it. Come and do to me what you want to do. I'll close it.
Ready to pay with your life?
Yeah, I'll do it. Don't you need people like me? I'll tell you, come and do what you want. And I don't even have a bodyguard. Just come and do what you want. But I'll close it. I'll close that dump site and bring a modern thing that generates electricity.
From the dump site?
I will do it myself. So don't blame people. They may not have what it takes to do certain things. Sakaja is a young man. His life is valued to him. He's a young family.
The capacity is there, but you don't have the goodwill.
You may not have the goodwill of the government, and you need it.
And
you may not have the power to look at cartels in the eye. They can also threaten you. And you look at your young children and say, "Hey, hapa siwezi." Unakunja mkia. So it requires people like Manyora here.
And if not Manyora, probably the closest person who will have revamped.
Miguna.
or now we had Lieutenant General Mohammed Badi.
Yeah, Badi.
He came close to bringing
tried,
sanity.
But he got somewhere and he wasn't as effective as people thought. But I said the measure of whether General Badi is the man I've been looking for will be in seeing these water lorries, what do you call them, bowsers?
Water bowsers.
If I am in charge of City Hall,
how does water penetrate?
I will tell them, convert those vehicles. We shall deal with the water later. I will not see any one of them moving in Nairobi. Even those ones owned by government agencies like universities and where. Sitaki kuona hiyo gari ya blue. Hakuna moja itatembea Nairobi.
I saw it at your home the other day.
Yeah? No.
I saw it at your home.
Yes, yeah. I'm saying if I'm in charge.
Yeah, sure.
Now I have to buy water.
You'll turn around the station.
I have no option. But if I am in charge, I am
in charge.
I'm General Badi. Hiyo gari ya kuuza maji nikiona moja Nairobi, na wapatia tu 30 days mconvert into ya kubeba mchanga, kubeba warungu, cabbage from Kinangop, sio maji.
Yeah.
Then we shall deal with the issue of water after that. You cannot deal with the issue of water when these guys are on the road. They will sabotage everything you do, including blocking pipes. Oh, my friend, this country requires mad people.
Much as it needs mad people, it needs also funding. That is why people are taking
funding?
issue.
Funding is something we blow out of proportion.
General Badi
we have been made to think funding is everything. It's not ideas are more important than funding. Which funding do you need?
You saw what NMS gobbled up billions of shillings.
Rubbish, that's not the cost. What wanataka kukula? Just getting water to Nairobi is not those billions we are being lied to. Forget about it. It's not money. It's nothing else. It's nothing like money. There's no money required in anything.
Then why the increased appetite for more funding into Nairobi County?
Because people want to eat money.
Budgeted corruption?
Yeah. It's not because we need money for those things.
Part of the radicals.
And the control. I'm saying some of the biting the bullet. If you cannot control development in places like Leleshwa, which was meant for so many people, now you have allowed everybody to put up
High-rise buildings.
Now facilities are overstrained. That's what I'm saying, biting the bullet. Facing people in the eyes and say, you will not construct high-rise places, buildings where they were not meant to be.
Can you bring such a highly emotive subject of land?
Why not?
At this time?
Why not? Someone must do it. We will do it. We will do it at great pain, at great cost. We continue to build armies of unemployed people because of bad policies. Nairobi is supposed to be a functional city to create employment. This is a dead city. Even moving, about 2 months or so ago, within the past 2 months or so, I tried to move from, somebody had taken me to take uji at the Roraningala post office outside. There are people who make their traditional porridge. Very nice porridge.
And dawa.
Yeah, you saw it.
I saw it.
So I walked from the university to that place. Reaching there was a nightmare. But when I thought it was a nightmare, wait until 5 o'clock got us there. Now going back. Not driving, I'm saying walking.
What?
Walking in Nairobi from Ronandingala towards Moi Avenue.
Unless you're in an ambulance.
You can't just walk. Not driving, walking.
Just walking.
That city cannot create employment for our children. This is a city that is supposed to be beckoning investors. Come to Kenya. Come and invest in Kenya. But a man looks at the madness on our roads and somebody reckons, how about if there's an emergency in my office and I must be rushed to office, to hospital? I'll reach there when I'm dead.
Or firefighting services to get to
Or
Gikomba
I've
market.
had something happening in my house in Runda, I want to rush there. I can't get there. By the time I get there, it is too late. How will he come and invest here? So Nairobi ought to be a functioning city. Not in the interest of Sakaja or Ruto or Uhuru or Manyora. In the interest of the children
Not business
who will come and
communities.
eat us tomorrow because they have nothing to do. This city is supposed to create employment for millions of young people. But this one, the way it is, cannot create employment. We can't even just say, Matatus, we love you so much. Boda and tuk and the rest, but you cannot function in a city.
It is why there is the...
It's not possible. And this is the interest of that. Haki yetu, oh, hustler. Oh, hawa ni watu, they are Kenyans like other Kenyans. Don't. You can't take your child to school with don't. We want to create order so that you may get decent employment, live a decent life, and give hope to your children and make your children get education and a job. But somebody's lying to you. Don't.
Boda and betting.
Oh, you are lying to people, but then it will come to eat us. So we have to look at it and say, okay, we have border people in this country. They are Kenyans. We are Matatu people, they are Kenyans. But we don't need these things in town.
It is...
Because Nairobi is a dead city. Dead.
Hold your thought there. But it is why the government came up with wanting to implement the bus rapid transport system, the BRT.
Those are just jokes.
It will come into life.
Those are just scheme they do, then half. Mbona wanafika katikati wanawacha watu wamekula pesa yao wameenda.
The Green Park bus terminus to get Matatu out of the city.
That is the stupid thing I'm talking about. How can you get Matatus there in their thousands and create a space which cannot even hold 100 of them? This is a stupid thing I'm talking about. You know, if we continue hii ujinga hii, we are going to pay for this stupidity. So, you see what I was saying? The border person is a Kenyan and they deserve a livelihood. But they should not be in the Nairobi town. That Matatu 14-seater, he's a Kenyan. He needs a livelihood. And that Makanga is a Kenyan. They need a livelihood. But not where they are doing it. Because they are killing the country. They are killing the city. They are killing the future. That future belongs to all of us. So we have to establish, how do we put these people in gainful employment? Or how do we create livelihood for them? But we get them from, just like people got people from slave trade and slavery. Then the chiefs were told, you no longer need to bring people from the hinterland as slaves. They gave them palm trees to try and to plant. You know, those kind of things, alternative.
Alternatives.
See, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then we tell Matatu people, we cannot have Matatus in Nairobi. No. Never. Because the town will never move. It will never be a city to create employment for our people, to be attractive to investors. Never. It will never, ever work. But we should not send you back to Lombe to go and die there. We want you to come together. Organize yourself with the support of government and the county government and the relevant ministries and departments. Work together and be the ones running modern buses and the light trains and all those things. You'll be the investors in that line. Lakini Matatu Nairobi, never.
Just to please the business community.
So that you think, so that they are happy and they give you jobs.
And votes.
But you are stupid, because the boys who do not get jobs because of this crammed city, this dead city, will come for us.
Muggling all over the place.
They will come for us. Watch out, a mugging. They'll just come to your houses. This city, nobody will live in this city in the next 20 years.
Even those in Karen and Runda.
That is the first place nobody will live. Those houses are going to be empty, other people will live in. 20 years, nobody can live in Karen or Runda. How can you? Look at her. And people are very stupid. I'm sorry to call them stupid, because indeed they are stupid. Look at Karen. Look at the slum around Karen. Look at Kibra.
Just there, across the fence.
Adjacent to Karen and Langata, the Karangata areas. Huge slum, Kibra. Look at Madare. There's only a small river.
Mudaiga is there.
Mudaiga. I was having lunch at an ambassador's residence. When people are talking big things about politics, I was just looking. Separating the ambassador's residence and Madare is just like a small river, a small valley, less than a kilometer. We are seeing what people are doing in the slums. Look at Loresho and Kibarage slums. Look at Kangware with what?
Kangemi and Kilelesho and all this.
Loresho, Kangemi and Kibarage for Loresho. Kawangware and what?
Lavington.
This is an exam which is leaked. This is a leaked exam.
Despicable.
We continue implementing wrong policies, giving situations painkillers instead of diagnosing the disease and curing it, giving political painkillers to be popular, to be elected. But it's a time bomb. Nobody in Nairobi will live in Runda in 20 years from now.
We are creating a ticking time bomb.
Yes. No, you will not live in Runda in 20 years from now. Nobody will live in Karen in 20 years from now. Those who are there, I am telling them, you are wasting your time. You will not be there. The children you leave behind, they will not enjoy those facilities. Other people will enjoy them. So let's tell the people the truth. Nairobi ought to be the gateway to the country and the region. It must be a clean city, functional. Not a city you can't even walk. So we want to please hawkers. We want to please.
They are now at the city center.
Yes, let's continue pleasing them. At least me, I'm a Lombe man. I don't stay in Runda. I wish I could.
It is the hustlers' government.
They will see. Let's see how they will not stay there. They have Manyora to advise them, to tell them for free. Tell Kenyans the truth and help them to help themselves to move this country to the next level. Don't lie to Kenyans. They can take border to Kisumu town, Nakuru town, and everything I've seen.
It is why Hilton.
Lee Kinyanjui had removed Matatus from town. Some people have come, they want to be popular. Matatus have come back in town. That's populism has never taken anybody anywhere.
Beyond the electioneering.
Sri Lanka tried. Where are they? Sri Lanka went down because of populist government. Trying to think you can please everybody. You can't please everybody. But the good pleasing you'll go to the people of a country is to look at the long term.
Long-term
in the interest of the same people. Tell them, brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, our daughters and sons, Nairobi must be a functional city. It must beckon investors. It must be a place where people are safe to walk at night. That way, this Nairobi will grow the GDP of this country, which will translate into better life. That way, this Nairobi will create 1 million jobs every 5 years or every 3 years. Other cities model along Nairobi, well planned, will create jobs. But a town where, and we are wasting money at opening up dual carriageway.
Yeah.
With the same problem still there, those dual carriageway, they do nothing. You take 1.5 hours from Karatina or Nyeri and you get stuck for 2 hours.
Thicker.
Not thicker.
Yeah.
Hapa karibu tu hapa. Hapa near next to Muranga Road hapa.
Cannot.
Just hapo tu utalii around from there 2 hours. So why are you building the thick highway? Even simple planning. Why do you put human habitation close to the road? Why do you put supermarkets on the road?
Malls.
So that vehicles leaving supermarkets block the road. There's no traffic. Simple things like this we can't do. In the name of we can't follow planning. Even if plans are there, we can't.
Call for better urban planning.
Yeah, we want. Some of the plans are already even there. We can't do it because we want to be popular.
Hilton just closed business because of the pikipikis and all that.
What business can you do in Nairobi? Which hotel can operate in Nairobi?
Sarova could go the same way.
How?
Stanley.
Which one? You can't do business in Nairobi. And as you chase people from Nairobi, the zoned of upper class
For the preserve.
places like Upper Hill, they also become slums. Because everybody again will move from there. The concept of the inner city moving all the time. The inner city is always moving all the time.
To the periphery.
So because you can't do even small businesses in Nairobi, CBD, people are beginning to come.
Westlands, Upper Hill and all those areas.
So Westlands is already a place you can't do your business. Even driving, even parking. So it is going to Upper Hill. Those big World Bank buildings, gee, what? All those.
Britam.
Yeah. Now those ones are going to be the next slums in Nairobi.
Not sustainable.
It's a no-brainer. And the beginning point is to tell our people the truth, not to lie to the people.
Biting the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Don't lie to the people of Nairobi that everybody can sell anything and anytime, anywhere in Nairobi, in whichever way you want.
And castigate the kanjos.
And in fact, we must go beyond that. There's a book I wrote long time ago, it was never published, in Kiswahili, Miji Yetu. The main argument of what I was writing was, we must prevent rural-urban migration, which is a crisis of the 21st century. Not just in Kenya. We must mitigate that crisis. And when devolution came, and that's why I supported the Majimbo one, the federal system of regions, because there will be viable units to create economic zones so that people do not have to come to
achieve their dreams.
And when we did our constitution, I said the way we shared responsibility between counties and the national government was wrong. That was a wrong approach. I even made a presentation. I said what we needed is to take services, certain services, to be domiciled away from Nairobi.
Yeah.
Completely. There's nothing you can do to Nairobi. Even if that ministry is not devolved. Even if the ministry is the national government. In my estimation, there isn't a ministry other than finance and this other military and what have you that should be operating from Nairobi.
The house water.
Everything cannot feasibly operate in Nairobi. All ministries, whether devolved or national, can only function within the counties. And that's why there's a provision in the constitution for transfer of services. You know, the Minister of Land can say, this is not devolved, but we are giving it to individual counties or these aspects of our ministry. Then you'll find there's nothing remaining in Nairobi. That's why we will have less pressure on Nairobi. Yeah. So it calls for serious thinking.
Big thinking is.
Unfortunately, what I see around is just people looking for votes.
And World Bank boys just having a field day.
There's nothing they're telling anybody. Why can't they come here and tell them? Why do you want to go to New York?
We shall get David D on the show soon.
I wish he can come. He's a tough man. That man can debate anybody.
And Tony Watima. There you have it, nuggets of wisdom from Herman Manyora, talking matters, bringing sanity to Nairobi and making Nairobi a great city, that not just so that it just doesn't be about the entrepreneurs, but also the city residents can have at least their welfare checked at the end of the day. And that point takes us to the wrap of this conversation. Time now for our fan of the week. It is Madam Felicia Njuguna in Trans Nzoia County.
Felicia Njuguna in Trans Nzoia, thank you very much for being part of this great family. We value you so much.
Absolutely. Also share the message with your family members, friends, that they get to subscribe to this channel, and also keep sharing our work out there on social media, Twitter, Facebook, across the platforms. On TikTok, we are there as well. Go there, head over to Herman Manyora page on Facebook. On YouTube, it's Herman Manyora's page. Also advance this conversation on my Twitter handle at Mwenje Richard, at H Manyora as well. Until next time, God bless. See you then.